The one absolute rule of our world seems to be that power corrupts absolutely. The natural world is a resource to those in power, nothing more. In the world of darkness, the insatiable nature of human greed is intrinsic to the spiritual nature of the world, and it wants to watch the world die, rot, and implode. Hello, and welcome to my second lore video on Werewolf the Apocalypse. In the last video, we talked about who the Garou are, and in this video, we'll talk about the worlds they must navigate. This infection of human greed worms its way into everything. Some people, places, and things are more resistant, but the rot is insidious and patient. It feeds on rage, frustration, and victimization just as easily as it feeds on greed and privilege. It will take any emotion or urge it can, even one that's perfectly healthy and natural, and twist it until it gets what it wants. Of course, some people rebel. They stand up and march in the streets against a system that is broken beyond repair. Even such noble sentiment can be turned, though. Evil is patient. Evil is insidious. Whole city blocks, acres of forests, entire lakes. Any place can become tainted, sucking in life and decaying it. Fortunately, though, there are warriors who are willing to give their last breaths if it means the world can repair itself. They aren't incorruptible, and they aren't always noble, but they are there. They are the Garou. Werewolves are creatures of many worlds, and most are at least somewhat comfortable in all of them. Some prefer living as humans do, but such a life is frustrating, to say the least. Modern cities hold many dangers for the Garou, and the presence of the unnatural awakens their most feral instincts. Cities combine overpopulation, artificial materials, and pollution to form a medley that is the very definition of unnatural. Opinions on cities vary among the Garou, but few see them favorably. Cities are nests dedicated to the worm's power. The people living in them are miserable, and that misery turns outward towards contempt for the rest of the planet. The inhabitants of the city know that they could sacrifice little and still do so much, but they litter, pollute, and produce more trash than the world can bear. Their urine is laden with toxins from the pills and processed foods they ingest, and this is flushed into the waterways, lakes, and eventually oceans of the world. The air tastes wrong. Music, car horns, the constant blare of televisions and radios, thousands of people walking the streets, faces buried in their cell phones. For a werewolf, the cities are frustrating to the point of madness. Two tribes of the Garou not only keep to the cities, but thrive there. The Bone Gnawers and the Glasswalkers, both of which we will go into in future parts. They revere the spirits of the urban jungle in their own ways and have found the cities to be just as rich and diverse as anything a forest could offer. Some Garou feel that the cities could be redeemed, and that large gatherings of humans would, in fact, be a good place to start such a campaign. Other werewolves would rather see cities burned to the ground. A werewolf may try to escape into the natural world, but because of ecological devastation, the wilderness is shrinking. As the Garou are keenly aware, the number of wild wolves on the planet is decreasing rapidly. Most humans fear wolves, cast them as villains in children's stories, and see them as a menace to farmers. Now, only a few places on Earth boast robust and healthy wolf populations. The wolf has no place left to hide. In addition to the general concerns of providing for one's basic needs in the wilderness, the wilds of the world of darkness are no freer from supernatural danger than the cities. Creatures lurk in the forests and jungles, and not even the werewolves are privy to all of the secrets that the wilderness holds. No matter how or where they live, werewolves struggle to survive. Beyond the physical world lies a world of spirits. This world, which werewolves call the Umbra, is accessible to any werewolf, but that doesn't mean that they understand it. Everything has a spirit, and in the Umbra, spirits of wind and water mingle with the spirits of plastic and oil. The Umbra is a bizarre reflection of the physical world, and one can wander deep into this spirit landscape. The depths of the Umbra can be explored and learned, but never mapped or mastered. Everything about a werewolf is a study in duality. Wolf and man, city and wilderness, duty and passion, rage and gnosis. Rage is a werewolf's primal fury, what drives them to victory and fuels the desire to win against the worm. It is their physical, visceral reaction to anything that even slightly upsets them, and is therefore what makes them dangerous. A werewolf is a powder keg on the best of days, and with the planet slowly dying, werewolves rarely have good days. Gnosis is the werewolf's faith, their appreciation for the mysteries of the world and the wonder of the spirits. It is what allows one to befriend totem spirits for their pack and learn the gifts of the spirits of the Umbra. While not as immediately dangerous as rage, gnosis has its own problems. A werewolf can become lost in the Umbra, their physical side falling away until only a spirit remains. The world of werewolves is harsh, and yet werewolves fight and die for their beliefs. The Garou walk between two worlds, the reality of the violent physical world and the mystery of the enigmatic spirit world. Wherever they run, in the cities, in the wilderness, or even in the spirit world, werewolves must face the same overwhelming fate. Their world is dying, and their destiny is ultimately tragic. In the next Werewolf the Apocalypse video, we will go more in depth into the history of the Garou and why they were created. Now ask yourselves this, Garou: when will you rage?